So we are all here, which is amazing.
Yeah, it must be a blue moon or something.
Yeah, it is. It happens every now and then. So, are you guys ready to rock? Or Keenan, can we start?
I'm good. Yes.
Right on.
Okay, this is amazing. So actually, I prepped for this session like 4 times, and each time I forgot that I already prepped for it. So yesterday I actually thought of drawing a map, and I opened my folder, and I found a map that I've already drawn like 2 weeks ago, and what is this? Who did that?
What is this garbage?
Exactly. It was so lame. I decided not to redo
like finding
it.
a bill of €5 in your pocket bag. So,
It's amazing. It was amazing.
Oh.
None of the dialogue is like improvised in the session. Everything is already figured out. Like all the dialogue options that we might choose already have a
12-page PDF.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, we'll have really high expectations for this session now.
No,
Yeah, man, you never should have said anything because now, like, if there's not animations that take her across the screen, I'm gonna be disappointed.
It will be even worse because I'll probably take bits from each time I kind of prepped for it, so it will be completely out of sync. Okay, and now skeletons come, and a dwarven clown, and what is this?
Dwarven clown.
I would love to play a dwarven clown.
That sounds like
Not
a
in my
challenge rating
campaign.
5.
Okay, so let's see what comes out of it. And how is Ghost of Saltmarsh? Are you kind of happy with it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I got it yesterday.
Okay, so let us know. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get a chance to play it for a very long time, so. But I'm going to start reading it.
Okay, awesome.
I'll play it with you.
Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna DM it?
Oh, you have the book, man.
You can borrow it.
Okay, so just to kind of go a few steps back, you have been tangling with the frost giants for a while. You know that they have been looking for the Ring of Winter, and that they have been constructing titanic ships made of ice, and they've begun raiding the settlements of the Sword Coast, such as Waterdeep and probably 10 towns. And you have also learned that other giants, like the fire giants and the snow giants, are also up to something, but you don't know why. The key might be a frost giant named Harshnag, which you freed from the ship Remorseless. The frost giant is now with you, but you have a feeling that he's testing you. He's not. He doesn't trust you just yet. So you have been traveling with him at this frozen wasteland of Icewind Dale for a while. You have slayed an adult white dragon named Wintercloak, who somehow convinced the Zentarim to teleport. Probably only the giant, but he got more than he bargained for. He got you in the process as well. So you managed to kill the dragon, and after you did that, there was this whale exploding over all of this frozen wasteland. This whale caused a storm, a magical storm of frost and ice to coalesce around you, and you have been waiting the storm in the company of a barbarian named Grihark. He is a member of the tribe of the Elk, and he basically saved you from following the whale into probably a fate much worse than the comfort of his tent. So you have been spending some days, I think, in his company. You have been talking to him and talking to each other. And if I remember correctly, it was Anderist who put on the magical stone crown and got a vision of the witch, of the ice witch, the woman who emitted this wail when Winterclock was killed. And she is in a cave of some sort, like a huge icy cave. She has been assembling for the last couple of days the bones of the dragon. Bones she peeled off of Harshnag, and I think she took Rukvi's draconic equipment as well. But Galen still has his dagger, or tooth, sorry. So the storm winded down. The sun came out, and in this area the sun doesn't really come out. It's just over the horizon, kind of floating there, which is very strange to you. You can tell that a couple of hours passed since dawn, but the sun kind of doesn't rise. So it gives this whole scenery kind of an eerie feel. A couple of birds started singing, and you can hear the wind and the few bushes and trees that are present in this place are kind of moving with the wind. It's very, very cold. The sun almost doesn't warm you at all. But Grihark has opened the flaps of his tent, stretches, and you have been waiting to the arrival of King Mjenir. This is the king or the leader of the tribe of the Elk. If I remember correctly, you wanted to head to where the witch is supposedly located, but before that, it wasn't Rukvi, it was Peleus who turned into a bird, I think, or an owl or something like that. And you wanted to scout ahead and find the king, because you wanted to talk to him before you headed to confront the witch. This is where we stopped last time, unless anyone wants to fill in for something that I might have missed. We can start.
We did also discuss, since we've been losing maximum hit point because of the curse.
Yep.
Yes.
From the demon, we talked about going to either the hag. That could
Or the
maybe
pool,
help us
right?
Or the pool, yeah.
Yeah, the pool is
the barbarian pool thing.
correct. And
They also said would be really horrible and deadly, just like the hag.
and you have sent a message, actually a couple of messages to Waradip via the sending stone. One of the messages was to the painter to kind of find a way to prolong the do something with the contract, because you have been losing hit points over it. So that is also
with
something.
The wife who is also an assassin.
Yeah.
Just hire her to assassinate the demon. What was that? He of many teeth?
Yes.
Yes,
Really?
please do that.
I think one parent outside, like, having fun is enough, man.
She did seem more competent than us, so I'm sure she can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peleus, you stretch your wings and jump into the air. Do you want to tell us which animal you have transformed?
I think it was a giant owl or
Okay.
a giant eagle. Let's say it's a giant owl. I'm not sure if I have a giant owl, but
So a magnificent white owl flaps its mighty wings and jumps into the air and vanishes. You, Rukvi, fly over this valley, who has been covered with snow. That is basically the result of the storm. You float over the light forest that hides Harshnag. Harshnag is still waiting for you there. He kind of waves to you as you fly above his head. and you gain distance following the direction that Grihak told you the other camp of the tribe they went hunting is located. It takes you around half an hour to basically zoom in on the location Grihak gave you. At this point, I need you to make a perception check.
Yeah, good thing that I chose a giant owl, because that one has advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. Okay, perception. With advantage, yeah. Okay, so that's a 21.
Okay.
A crit.
Amazing. So with a 21, you spot two things. The first one, around half an hour during your flight, you spot this red stain up in the sky. So as I said, the sun is kind of low and your eyes have some trouble to adjust, but because of that high roll, you manage to see this red shape kind of flies far above you. You are not sure what it was, but it vanished kind of behind two clouds, and then you don't see it anymore. And it was very far, like beyond like what you think you could take.
Okay.
So that's one thing. And 5 minutes after that, you spot a dozen or so barbarians cross the fields of snow. They are carrying pelts and basically the game, whatever they hunted. They are armed with spears, furs covering their bodies, and you can identify the king, who is obviously walking at the top of the line. He is a broad-shouldered, blonde, but wary and you could say old man with this huge axe that he simply drags behind him on the snow, which is kind of unlikely. But you think he is either bored or annoyed, because on the two sides of him you can see two women also armed with spears and wearing those same furs, and they each kind of babble into his ears, talking to him, trying to tell him things. He tries to wave them, but they don't pay attention and continue to kind of harass him, if you could say that. So he's simply kind of going crooked through the wind, dragging his axe, board, and behind him like 10 warriors of the tribe.
Okay, and they walk in the direction of the barbarian that gave us shelter.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't think I'm gonna land, actually. I think I'm just gonna let them walk.
Okay. You believe they will take something like maybe a couple of hours, probably more, to get to the camp. So they'll be there at noon, probably.
I mean, I can't really help them anywhere. I can maybe carry one or something.
You tell me.
No, I will just let them walk.
Okay.
And yeah, if he looks very annoyed, I won't talk to him yet.
Okay. Do you try
I want them to get home first.
Do you try to be stealthy about your kind of?
No, I'm like the fey creature that leads the way. I don't try to be stealthy, and I fly a little bit ahead, and then I wait for them in some tree or something. And
okay, so you do witness something peculiar as you make yourself visible to them. One barbarian from the middle of the line he's a huge man, bald, with 3 scars kind of crossing his entire skull and face, and his beard is red, but with many bald spots, like something rendered his face. He points at you, flips a javelin, and is about to throw it at you when one of the women siding the king simply turns and throws her javelin at him. She doesn't try to hit him, just to kind of alert him not to shoot at you. And the two immediately start to fight. Okay, so they drop their javelin and they simply start to punch each other, which is blood. Like a few seconds after that, you can see blood on the snow. She punches him, he kicks her, they fall on one of another, and basically the whole tribe kind of circle around them. Yeah, come on, give him. So, and the king kind of does that.
Okay. I let them do their thing, I guess, if they want to.
Okay. So
I patiently wait.
Okay, so if you patiently wait, it seems like the man has gained an upper hand on the woman, but he doesn't kind of beat her senseless. Eventually, he kind of helps her get up, and they look at each other and they hug in a strange way. Kind of they place their foreheads one next to the other and kind of bang their heads. So you feel that she had made her point, but he won. So they are both like okay with it. And then they look at you, like the whole gang is looking at you.
And they stop. They don't follow.
So they do follow you, but they kind of want you to lead the way as you.
Yeah, I will do that. As soon as I will like fly ahead a little bit, and then I'll wait for them in some tree, and yeah, then I will fly again.
Great. So you guys, while waiting with Grihak in the tent, do you want to do something while Peleus is leading the warriors back home? No? Okay, great. So,
No.
Peleus, you land in front of Grihak's tent, and your friends emerge, and all this the line of warriors kind of descend the valley, and immediately when they spot all your friends, that huge bold man that have beaten one of the king's aides rushes to Grihak, grabs him by the collar, takes him up and say, "These are the men who have awakened the anger of the witch. They must be put to the death now." And he raises his javelin, ready to stick it in one of you guys who just stand up like this.
I will turn back and tell him, no, there's no need for that. We will take care of the rich. We've already discussed it.
So
And I will step out in front of the others to like cover them if they decide to throw javelins at us.
okay.
And I will step into the back and try and be small.
Of course.
They don't like me. They think I'm evil. I'm doing you a
And you're
favor.
not?
I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
My looks. They're completely judging me on my looks.
Of course.
Right.
They're racist.
And on the undead servants you have, maybe. A little.
They don't know
Nothing
that.
to do with that.
Only if you tell them.
The king raises a hand and says, and kind of turns to Peleus, but as he turns to you, he says, "People, let's listen to Mug." And then he looks at you and takes a step back, realizing you're not Mug, whoever that is. And the two women stand up in front of the king and kind of draws their javelins pointing at you. and Grihak tries to intervene, but this huge man throws him aside and heads straight at you, Galen.
I will just stand and do nothing. Other than maybe
You
dodging.
can take it.
Actually attacks.
He raises a fist to simply punch you. Anyone?
I'll just
Yeah.
get ready to
Yeah.
dodge.
I think Rookby puts his hands up. Wait, I think this has just been a misunderstanding, everybody. To try to interrupt.
I'm going to.
Can I make
Paris.
I want to propose a duel.
Ooh.
Mhm.
A duel. So you step forward and say, wait,
Yeah.
a duel, and then everyone stops.
I want to see Forgar fight a duel.
Yes, a duel. Exactly.
The
Word.
bald man looks at you and says, "So you admit it? You have angered the witch."
No. See, we're trying to kill the witch.
It was an accident. It was an accident. We didn't intend to anger the witch, but we got turtled here, and there was this big ass dragon. It attacked us first. It was totally self-defense. But
Something killed the dragon.
Yeah, when you say
I'll take a
something
step
killed
back.
the dragon, the whole clan is kind of that killed the dragon. The two women approach you, Forgar, and say, "You need to undergo the trial of black ice."
the trial?
Yes, all of you. You have angered the witch. If you want us to not spill your blood, stain the snow with your lifeblood to appease her anger, you must be judged worthy by the eyes of the nature spirits, by the spirit of the elk. You must take the trial of black ice.
I'm totally worthy. Let's do this.
Yeah,
If-
you already have that icy axe.
I'll
What does
speak
that
up from
mean?
the back. If we do this, will you help us?
She says, "If you are judged worthy by the black ice, you will be a part of the tribe. We will be brothers, so to speak.
And
you are strangers, but you will be one of our own blood. But if you fail, it will be the death of you. Let the spirits
Not
decide."
worried about that. If we pass and we are your brothers, will you follow us into battle?
Battle with the witch, of course.
And her minions? Deal. Let's go.
Yeah.
What does this trial of the black ice involve?
She smiles
That's a
and
while.
she smiles and turn around, and Grihak kind of picks himself up, cleans the snow, looking at you. He says, "Well, every young man in the tribe, young man and woman in the tribe, manages to pass this test. So I think you'll be fine." Yes.
Insight check?
That nature spirits will handle it. Don't worry.
Oh, great. 17.
So you think he says to himself like, "What the fuck they have just done?"
I mean, I'm a druid. I am a nature spirit or something, so I don't think I can fail this test.
I've already been selected by my god. I'm totally worthy.
So they unpack all of the hunting game that they have collected, and it seems that they are very eager to commence the trial and the celebration. So they immediately go into a frenzy of cooking, brewing, skinning, and all those activities that create food from hunted life forms.
While they're in this frenzy, Quaren is going to try to go to pass around between some people who are willing to speak with him
Okay.
and try to get into a long conversation with them.
Okay.
And he's gonna try like 3 or 4 guys over there, and once he gets into a conversation, he has a chance to use his diplomacy to actually sort of charm them.
Okay.
And what I want to do after they are charmed, if they are successfully charmed, is try to get them to tell me how they passed their passive heritage, how they passed their test, and if they have any tips for us.
Okay.
Cheater! Cheater! That's hilarious.
Got any hot tips, Barbarian?
Exactly.
So, most of them tell you to wear a double pair of pants. They
Wear
say
brown pants.
Yeah, they say like that like 90% of them wet themselves during the trial, and it's kind of an embarrassment. So you should do yourself a favor and kind of wrap this area really good. And so this is one of the tips that you've got. The other tip was don't freeze. Okay, as in not be frozen solid, but don't stand still.
Okay.
And make a persuasion check for me. And let's see if I can give you another tip. I'll give you an advantage because you charmed them.
Okay. So that is 9 plus 19.
Okay, a 19. So, with a 19, okay, so one of them tells you, watch the stinger.
The stinger? Does he tell me what the stinger is?
Nope. Just tells
Okay.
you, watch the stinger. Okay.
All right.
Anyone wants to do something while the tribe prepares for the trial? You are kind of closely watched. People are not readily willing to talk to you. Even the small tips that Aquarium got are kind of because of his magic. They seem to be cooking something and preparing some gear for this trial. And other than that, they kind of keep their distance from you. So...
I want to like try to talk to them also to figure out if there are like some specific rules we are supposed to follow. Like, is there something we can do or can't do?
They simply say that's an easy one. So you kind of meet one of the women who stood by the king. She says that her name is Froya. And she tells you to simply survive. There are no rules. You simply have to survive. And she's...
I want to look for
Wondering if there were
some...
like a
What?
test of like might or something. That's fine.
I want to look for some, like, winter gear.
So
If it's a trial for North, I want to be dressed like one and prepped for whatever they've got up.
okay. So you kind of search for clothes that matches their own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So as you kind of move around the clan and try to talk to them and convince them to maybe spare one pair, like an outfit.
Yeah.
Another woman, the other woman that was with the king, her name is Wynneth. She comes to you and smiles, and she gives you this. It's like a two-part outfit of trousers that are covered with fur. There are no boots. There are like covers for the boots, which are made of leather that is oiled, and there is like this mighty cape, not cape, but cloak, made of like the hide of a bear or something like that. And she wraps you with all this and says, Well, aren't you looking majestic? And then she pats you on the back, and you can actually feel the power behind like her pat.
Yeah.
And
Thank
the other clan members, they kind of smile at you and giggle, not giggle, but kind of, smile as if it's like a, when a child dresses like an adult. So
Yeah.
that's basically the vibe.
Did they like? I'm a dragonborn. Like, am I proportionally? It's not like
so
barely able to.
No, they are actually. You are basically the same height or build. Like you're big, so you fit. But you feel that the child dressing as an adult, it's not because of your size or age, but because of the fact that you are not one of them, and they basically treat strangers like children. In a world they don't understand. So So that's the thing. Yeah.
Cool.
While they're doing all that, I'm going to intentionally sit off to the side somewhere, like in a shadow where nobody can see me. I know they can see me, but I still want to stay somewhat close. And I'm gonna fake read my book. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to use my awakened mind to randomly reach out to tribespeople who I can see and who come close. The message I've got different variations of the same message, but I've named all of us. So there's the stag, the owl, the minstrel, the dragon, the farmer, and the shadow, which is me. And I'm gonna have different variations of like the stag and the owl are your champions. The witch must die, or the farmer and the minstrel are your champions. The witch must die. And I'm just gonna start planting that seed in as many of their brains as I possibly can.
Okay.
Is an entire Inception movie going on?
Is it like telepathy? Is it something else? It's telepathy. So
yeah, it's telepathy, and it's in their language. So I'm guessing it's they don't have to understand my language; they just have to speak a language. So I guess they hear it in whatever's most comfortable.
Okay, and is it something that they can identify that is coming from you, or is it something that they hear and they don't know?
I don't think they can identify.
Okay.
I can communicate telepathically with any creature I can see within 30 feet. Don't need to share a language. They understand it. That's all it says. So I don't want them to know it's coming from me. I want them to think that it's coming from their god or the nature spirits. And if people start to look at me, then I'm gonna stop.
Okay, so make a I would say how do you
deception
hide?
maybe?
Yeah, maybe deception. Deception is
I have really persuasion. Can I use persuasion instead of deception?
I think deception is what you're trying to do here. Okay, so yeah.
Ooh. All right, that's all right. I'll deal with that. 19.
Okay. Amazing. Stag and owl. Okay. Awesome. Anyone else wants to do something? Okay.
I think Rugby is trying to lead his giant elk steed to a stable or something.
Okay. So, just before nightfall, so the sun is still locked where it was last time, but on the other direction, it kind of floats across the horizon. So all the colors kind of change around you. The sky become purple, and the snow, while still white, gains this divine illumination as the rays of sun kind of bounce over it. The whole tribe, bearing torches that spit and sparkle, take you to a location a little bit north than where you have been with them at the camp. You traverse a hill, and when you descend it, you can see a field of what appears to be black ice. It's as if a black lake has frozen. And dotting that black lake are, you can only describe them as craters. You can see holes in this black substance, and then like, you know, the flower of the crater, as if something either punched through or punched up through this blackish ice. The king approaches all of you and lays a hand on each one of your shoulders, like in turn, and mumbles something in a language you don't understand. It appears to be some sort of a prayer, and then he takes a jar, uncorks it, dips his finger inside of it. There is a white substance in it, and then he marks your forehead with a line. And then he points at the middle of this lake. The tribe creates this half circle around you with their torches. And then they all draw out large metallic hammers, like war hammers. When you get to around the middle of the lake, they start chanting, and it's like this war song. It ebbs and flows, and you can feel like a natural basic rhythm in it. And each time they get into this climatic rhythm, they bang their hammers on the ice, and you can hear this, like it's like a gong that ripples through the black ice. So it's kind of, you know, and then the sounds kind of bursts into the open. And each time their hammers hits the lake, something is moving beneath your feet. I need you to roll perception checks.
17.
17.
4.
Okay.
17 for Rugby.
14 for Aquarian.
11.
Peleus?
14.
14. Okay, so Quarian and Galen. You are the only one who managed to feel the tremors and then look at the right direction. You can see something gargantuan moving under the ice, as if either burrowing through it or swimming through it, but it's massive. And the others are totally shocked to see this burst, something like 80 feet ahead of you, from the ice, an explosion of black ice, and then this towering purple worm out of the snow. It kind of rises and rises and rises and rises, and then its huge mouth is opened, emitting this high-pitched shriek that causes cracks to form all over this black lake. And at this point, all the barbarians raise their hammers and they shout something that you don't recognize. And then the creature attacks.
Before it attacks, can I look over my shoulder at that guy, the one who said, "Oh, our kids do this"? And I look at him, "Your kids do this?"
So when you look at her, you can see that all of the barbarians now hold ropes with grappling hooks on them, and they kind of spin them and are ready to throw those ropes at you. Okay, so they shout, spin those grappling hooks, and this huge creature is looming above you. So, initiative rolls.
Mm-hmm.
15 for Aquarian.
Quarian 15.
5 for 4
14 for Galen.
Wait, 13 for Galen. 5.
14 for Galen.
Okay. 5 for Forgar. Pelias?
8.
8. Okay. Rookvi?
13.
Okay. I'm missing someone. Enderist?
17.
17 for Enderist. Great. So this creature... Oh, it's actually a minus. What's that of?
Fear is the mind killer. I will let it pass through me. Oh, wait, this is the giant sandworm? Oh, wait. Sorry. Wrong setting.
Enderist, you go first. What do you do?
Remember my frog statue?
Oh, yeah.
Does it take an action to summon it?
I think so, yes.
And it's around for like an hour or so.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah, okay.
I was looking at a giant frog to see what kind of stats it had also.
So I'm
That
gonna
also.
run off to the side,
Mhm.
away from the group, and then I'm gonna use my action to summon my giant frog and get on it.
A frog explodes into being, and you mount it. All the barbarians kind of... "Roar! Entertainment!
Frogs! Frog legs! Big ones!
It's like
Amazing.
Naruto for that.
Nerd.
Okay. Quarian, what do you do?
Okay, first of all, I yell at you, watch for the stinger and spread out. And I try to run like 30 feet in one direction away from the rest of the guys. And I am going to try to scorch it. I'm going to fire a fireball directly at its mouth.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay, it needs to do a reflex save. Not a reflex, a dexterity save.
Okay. What's the
It's
DC?
15.
Failed.
15.
So
Alright.
it kind of stands there as the ball flies to it, and then...
So 9. That's another 9. Okay, so it's 29 fire damage.
Okay. So the barbarians kind of take a step back and look at their, puny torches after this huge nuclear explosion. But this worm doesn't seem that it even felt that. So it kind of shakes its head and...
Alright. So does it seem like hurt at all, or does it seem like...
Oh,
like
it is kind of scorched around the face and tongue. So
Okay.
it's the equivalent of eating too hot food. So this is... No, I'm joking. Okay, amazing. Fireball. Rookvi.
Rookby is going to.
I was before Rugby.
Did I switch you guys? Okay, maybe.
I was 14, he's 13.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm 13.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Galen,
That'll
go
be
for
the
it.
matters, yeah. I'll look at a bear. So I'm supposed to fight it or run past it, or what's the trial?
When you look around, you can see that one of the barbarians caught your glance, and he throws a curled rope with a grappling hook at the end of it. So you can make a dexterity check to try and grab it, or you can simply let it fall and slide towards you.
I will grab it.
Okay, dexterity check.
17.
Okay, yeah, you grab it,
Okay.
and
I guess we have to ride it or something, and then how far away is it?
so it's kind of well, it depends. It's 80 feet from you, but it's towering so high it basically blocks everything above you. It's like...
I think monks are legally obligated to climb this monster during the fight.
Yes,
And
I'm
it's-
good.
And it's not over. It's not out of the hole yet. Like it's got some more body there.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's been a while since I was on a big huge thing like riding a dragon, riding a purple worm. Yeah, I'll go for it. I will activate Step of the Wind, so I'd then take another dash action. I'm not sure if the ice counts as difficult terrain or not. I assume it's sort of does.
Yes, it is. It is.
Then I'll move 45 feet towards it.
Okay.
And that is with the half move.
Okay. So
Am I close enough to throw the grappling hook at it?
So you are something like 40 feet from her. So I would say, let me see if I actually have it here. I don't have it here. I think 40 feet is too far. You need to be something like 20 feet or 30 feet at least.
30 feet is normally the distance from rope. Then I'll just move like 20 feet or so closer towards her.
Okay, so you are you grab the rope and you charge it basically, and all the barbarians are kind of shrieking out of happiness, and this woman Froya, sorry. She, Gwyneth gave you the cloak, or Froya? You don't remember.
Gave me the cloak?
Oh, sorry, it was Forgar who got the cloak, right? So everybody shouted to you, yeah, he knows what he's doing. Okay.
Yes, and while I'm running towards it, I am swinging the grappling hook, getting ready to throw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Rukvi.
I target Forgar and Helios and our monk friend Galen, and I'm gonna cast Bless on them.
Okay.
No, actually one more.
I might be out of range.
Are you?
I am 60 feet out away from you.
Well, then I'll move 30 feet with you because I'm gonna be charging in anyways. I'll get the other two people who are with me on the way. It's gonna be you, Peleus, Forgar, and who wants it? Who's better to have this bless? Anderist or?
What does it do?
If it's
1d4 to your attack.
And
not me.
also for saves.
And
Does it
saves.
work for spell attacks or just weapon attacks?
Spell attacks, also any attacks.
Oh, I'll take it.
All
If I'm
right.
close
Yeah.
enough.
Does it work for each individual attack or just once on the whole attack?
All attacks.
Amazing.
Yep.
Okay.
As I'm just running behind you and saying prayers, and so.
Tag, go ahead.
Okay.
And then running away.
So the
Oh,
barbarians.
and I'm yelling out for a rope as well. Like I won't.
Okay.
Give me two actually. It's the best match.
Okay, so two ropes headed your way. If you want, you can make a dexterity check to grab them or let them slide to you. Whatever
No,
you choose.
I want to be action. Come on. 8.
8. Okay, so one of the grappling hooks kind of hit your face because you didn't grab it on
I have to,
time.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
I
the
have to crouch
first.
down.
That's the first one. You have another one to try and grab.
Oh, okay. The second one, 16. There we go.
Okay, so you one of them you grab and it hits you, but the other you kind of gracefully grab it, hoping that no one saw your fumble. They all bang their war hammers on the ice again, seeing you with a rope. So that's good. Okay, at this point, the worm twists its body and is approaching to swallow Galen as he's kind of charging it. When it does that, it all of its body is now out, and then you can see its mighty tail circling from above with a huge tail stinger protruding from it, and that tail stinger goes to the wizard who fried her mouth. So
Yeah.
with the bite, Galen does a 29 to hit you.
Of course not. Why would you even assume that?
I don't know, I'm asking.
Yeah, yes. I have 17. 17 is lower than 29, so clearly a miss.
Clearly. By a
That's
lot.
how it works. That's how I remember it, at least.
Okay,
In a while.
so you take
Isn't it Taco we're using to hit armor class 0? Come on. Second edition, right?
Yeah.
so you take 17 points of piercing damage, and you lose your, or about to lose your balance. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as it tries to swallow you.
Well, it's a 21 plus bless, so yeah, that's a 25.
Amazing. So it opens its mouth. It kinds of the worm kind of bounce you up. So you fly, but then you skid and dance on its tooth, and then you slide back to the ground. And she is unable to swallow you, which is amazing. The barbarians are all thrilled at this sight of you.
Well, that does sound amazing, yeah. Not getting swallowed.
And
Aw, it was
Quarian,
about to pick me up.
Quarian, you kind of look at this amazing feat done by Gelling, and you kind of are happy for him, and then a sting.
Hang on. I'm going to try to use my curses to dissuade it.
Okay.
I'm going to try the cutting words.
So what does it do? Remind me.
Whatever he rolls, you subtract 7 right now because
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
So 5 plus. So does a 19 hits you?
Damn it.
Oh,
A purple only has like a plus 12 to hit, so of course it won't hit us at all.
Okay.
Never.
So the wizard takes 16 points of piercing damage, and you can feel it injecting something into your body, and it's and injecting is like it's 4 gallons of poison that pump through its stinger into your body. So I need to make
Your veins explode.
a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah,
But-
so I might have needed to bless.
yeah,
maybe.
It's just a hose,
you do.
pressurized.
The fire hose of poison.
Exactly. Just rolling on the ground.
I got an 18.
An
It's
18.
just kindly replacing
Yeah.
all the blood that you just lost with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The medic.
Dialysis, yeah.
So you actually fall to the ground, puking your soul out with tons of mucus and poison and yuck coming out of your body, but you actually made the save. So you only take an additional 22 points of poison damage.
Oh god.
Damn.
Only.
So you are kind of twitching on the floor, puking
Kind of
and
barf,
shaking.
help me!
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, you're good.
I'm just pissed at it right now.
Okay. So that was the worm's attack, and it kind of slides again to between all of you to position itself, but it doesn't kind of change anything. You can still hit her. It's huge, like gargantuan. So that was the worm. Now we are back at Peleus.
Okay, so I go into this like runner stance, where you start a race at like the Olympics or something.
Yes.
And then I just start running at full speed at the creature, and then I jump and turn into one of those flying dinosaur things that I can't pronounce.
Pterodactyl.
It's like wait, this is what it's called. I don't know.
Ooh, those are big, aren't they? Yeah, those are fucking. They're like planes.
Yeah. And then I basically do like a dive attack and fly straight
Amazing.
into the thing.
So you take off like a B-52 or something like that, right? And then you dive.
And I completely miss it with an 11.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah. So it's not that you miss it. You can actually hit it, but its hide is so thick. It's like hitting a rock, like poop, and then you take off again.
Okay.
Just like a mosquito. Point.
I keep flying a little bit though.
Okay.
I can I don't provoke opportunity attacks when I fly out of someone's reach.
Amazing.
So I will do that.
Okay, that's good. Forgar, what do you want to do?
Did I?
I
Do
want to
have
cut
a turn?
off it.
What?
Did we go back to the top of the
No, no.
initiative round?
No,
Oh,
we
oh,
got a
still
5
there.
on initiative. Come on.
Never mind. Jesus.
Keenan, did you roll a d4?
Yeah,
You
oh, I thought it was a flat d4. I just added 4, but it still wasn't
Oh,
enough.
no, you
I,
rolled.
I cheated
You
and it still
cheated
was.
and failed.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right, I want to grab out my axe and I want to try and cut the stinger off.
Okay.
Nice.
So this 20
Holy
feet
shit.
wide stinger, or however big it is.
It might take a couple of swings, but you know, whatever. That's 25.
25 hits.
Woo! Thought I had these ready, but I don't.
James didn't roll like shit. That's all.
I know, right? It's okay. I got a 2 and a 3 on my damage. I made up for it.
Oh, never mind.
That's math. 5 regular damage and 2 frost damage.
Okay, so that's
And
7.
strength.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it's with.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, oh
So
sorry.
that's
Wow.
actually amazing. You actually managed to chop off a scale, like a piece of stone hard skin off of its back, which is actually amazing.
Souvenir.
Yeah, exactly.
Souvenir.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna wind up and do it again.
You want to get a rope? Forgar.
Yeah, totally. I want to get a rope.
Okay, so make a dexterity check to try and grab it.
All right. 7.
A 7. So you raise your hand and it kind of flies above you, landing something
Right
yeah.
through my fingers, you know.
Exactly. 20 feet to the side, so you can see all the barbarians kind of
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
At this point, a lightning bolt explodes behind you, and you can see Shazra with her fingers kind of this.
Oh, right.
So she fires a lightning bolt at this creature. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw, which it fails. So someone roll 8d6 for me.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I already did it.
Oh,
No.
31.
31. This is amazing.
Nice.
Okay. And then she raises a hand and another rope flies to the ice. So she kind of and then she walks back to fetch it. Okay, and then we're back to Enderist with his frog.
Oh, wait. So, move. Use the frog's movement. Does it have? Is it difficult terrain for the frog?
Yes, but basically you are all next to the worm. It's like it's on the floor and it's kind of wiggled.
It's so big.
Yeah, it's so big that you basically can reach it, no problem.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep moving around it. I'm just trying to distance myself from everybody else. For my bonus action, I'm going to summon my Hound of Ill Omen, so all the shadows around me coalesce, and a giant wolf leaps out of my chest and runs straight at it. It
this
goes
point-
on my move.
At this
Nope.
point, all the barbarians kind of, become dead silent. And then someone asks, "Is this cheating?" "Yeah, he's cheating. That's magic. That's not good. It's a black wolf. That's
What about the
wrong.
lightning bolt?
That's
How
wrong.
is the lightning bolt not cheating?
That's nature.
He's cheating. That's dark magic. That's not fun. Boo, boo."
Well, maybe all the people that I said the shadow is your champion. Maybe they're like, oh wait, the shadow. Whatever. So it gets its own initiative. It goes on a 21.
Okay, so he's before you. Just keep in mind.
Yeah. And then I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level at it.
At the wolf? No, at the.
So I get
At
the purple worm.
At the worm. Okay.
Yeah, and I will use fire damage. 15 to hit.
15 doesn't hit her armor class.
Did you remember the bless?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
That was a 2.
so a fiery orb explodes in front of it, tries to roll to hit her, but it dodges out of the way. And the barbarian's kind of cheating. Okay. Anything else, Andrist?
That's all I can do.
Okay.
Round.
Settle. Good. Quarian.
Okay. I'm going to move 30 feet further from it again.
Mm-hmm.
While I move, I take out my wand of binding, and I'm going to cast Hold Monster on it.
Ooh.
Yes.
So it needs to.
Hey, don't cheat though. Whatever you do.
Everything's fair.
Apparently.
So it's, this
You
is
do it
7.
like very sneakily.
17.
Oh, let's see.
17 what?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That's good. It's not very wise. What's the DC?
Got it. 17.
Natural 20.
Oh my goodness.
Here it is.
The wisdom of the worm.
No, the wisdom. It suddenly
Wait a
has
minute.
it you know.
Hang on. I can use my my curses again.
Okay,
My
awesome.
Yes,
cutting
do
words
it.
again.
On a 20, it always succeeds, no matter what.
No,
Really? I
why?
can't-
No. Why?
No.
On the save,
Yeah.
20 always succeed.
What?
Once always fail, no matter modifiers.
Where did you find this rule?
It doesn't say so on the cutting words.
No, I don't
Yep,
think.
that is for saves. 20 always hits.
No,
Attacks
no,
and saves.
I don't
Will
think.
hit, and once always save it. They fail.
I don't think you're right. It's so important that I'm gonna check it. Saving throw.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is your game.
No, I don't think it's right. Roll a d20. To make a saving throw can be modified. Each class, blah blah blah. No, nothing. The difficulty class, for example, the result of successful.
Everybody's gone?
Isn't it under the rolling a 20?
No.
Hello?
Yeah, we're
Hello?
still here.
I lost you guys, sorry.
No, I'm still here.
I crashed as well, but I'm back.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Okay. Oh my god. So on a saving throw, it doesn't say anything about succeeding automatically.
I'm 95% sure that's how it works.
No, wait.
You should probably find the page.
Only on skills that a 20 isn't an auto succeed.
Oh, you know what? Sorry about that. Never mind that. It doesn't work with saving throws. Sorry about that.
What doesn't work?
Cutting words doesn't work with saving throws anyway.
Oh, the spell?
Yeah. No, the cutting words, it doesn't work with the saving throw, so
Oh,
I
it's,
can't use it here
Wait. Yeah,
Did
it's
we find it?
It's a variant. Wait, no. Strength.
Who is playing music?
No, that's my wife's phone. No, it doesn't. You have automatic success if your ability score is like 20 and the DC is 15, so that's fine. But I don't see anything about nothing. I don't think so. No, there is a DC. You have to pass it. There's no only on attack rolls. I think it.
No, it doesn't matter. This is a saving throw, so I couldn't affect it anyway.
Okay.
So I just say Move on.
Okay. Where's my pencil? Here's my pencil. Okay, so that was Quarian, and now we have Galen.
Yes. Well, I assume I'm close enough now since they're just trying to bite me.
Yes.
So I'll throw the grappling hook.
Okay, make a. You can make a dexterity check to try and throw the grappling hook, and then you'll need a strength check to climb it.
Ooh, a strength check to climb it, really?
Yes.
Well, it's 22 for my dex check.
And
And then I use my acrobatics, you said, right? To climb up it?
your persuasion.
I heard.
You persuade it to roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Pet it gently.
Okay, well, I'll do my strength then. Oh, well, that's
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, good. So
that's 20.
Galen is on the back of the worm, and you can see like one of the king's aides kind of, she has a board and she checks like it has a drawing of each of you, and then she checks you. So you're good.
And then I'll just do like a shout like the barbarians did, like holding up my one hand and the other like holding on with the rope, and like I'm on it.
Okay.
Rodeo.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a cowboy hat for some reason?
They all cheer.
That's your farmer hat?
I will also, if I can, like ready
Wizard
my
hat.
action to help others if they want to climb up.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
that's right.
that's fair. That's fair. Great, amazing. Rukvi.
Rugby is spinning his rope, but when he sees Quarian get struck down and filled with venom, he turns around and sprints towards him
Okay.
and casts Lesser Restoration on him.
Wow, awesome.
And then I pull you up, and then I say, "Let's go!" And then I run towards the worm again.
Okay, amazing. So the worm doesn't do anything to shake Galen. It simply slides at the snow, and this time it will try to bite you, Rukvi, because you moved in front of its face.
Let's go.
So, does a 27 hit you?
Yep, I think that grazes my body.
Okay, so that's
Goes right through it. Is that it?
Yeah, right.
that is 12 points of piercing damage, and I can't seem to roll high today. And you need to make a dexterity saving throw, or it will swallow you.
30 saving throw. I'm really good at that. 19.
19 is just enough, so it kind of swallows you, and then as it lifts its head, you kind of kick it, and it opens its mouth, and you fly from it. And when the head goes down, you kind of land on it, and then topple down. So that's and the barbarians.
Can I try to sink one of the hooks into it as I slide down?
Yes, make a dexterity check, but with a disadvantage because of all of the shock of it.
Natural one.
So you fling the rope, and it kind of flies. You drop like a pancake on the floor, and then the grappling hook hits your face on the way down.
Again, yeah, it's just stuck to the helmet.
Punk. Okay, that was amazing. So that was her attack against Rukvi, but the tail kind of contorts again, and it tries to hit. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Shazra. 7. Okay, so Shazra is about to get stinged, and
I'm going to try to interrupt it again with the bard. Now, this time with the bardic inspiration.
Okay, so
With
you.
the cutting word. I mean.
Okay, so
we do 6.
that's actually good. Let me see if it hits her. Yeah, so unfortunately, Shazra has a very low armor class, and it takes the stinger right on. So that's no. Okay, so Shazra takes, that is 8. That's 13 points of piercing damage, and she needs to make a Constitution saving throw, which she passed. Amazing. So only that's 10, 11, 15, 16, another 18 points of damage from the poison, So she is basically on her knees, badly wounded, puking and contorting on the floor. But she's alive, but it's kind of hit her really hard. So, Peleus, it's your turn.
Okay, I will try the same thing I did last time
Okay.
without the run though. Okay, please hit.
You got a 1d4, you can do it.
I mean, it's even if I roll a 4, it's an 11, so I don't think that will hit.
Okay.
So again, I just circle it, I guess.
Okay,
I
so
fly.
you kind of circle it, almost there,
Oh, yeah.
almost
Yeah.
there.
Just one more
Walking on
turn.
target.
Okay.
Just one more turn, and then I roll all ones on the attack, on the damage roll.
Okay,
I
so,
finally hit it.
so the barbarians are kind of whoa, and then whoa, as you. Okay, that was Peleus' turn. Forgar.
Woo. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get that grappling hook. It went forever away, and I'm gonna throw it, and I'm gonna get on this giant worm.
Okay, dexterity check, please. Oops.
14.
A 14 is not enough. So the grappling hook hits it, and then as you try to pull it to climb, it kind of peels off with a piece of its flesh.
Could I grab his grappling hook? And,
Oh,
like,
that's
stick it
amazing. So you know that because Galen said he would help, you can roll it with an advantage. So make another roll and choose the higher.
Fuck, no, it's worse. It's a 10.
So you try to grab the.
Dude, I
the
rolled
hook
a
and-
15. That's like epic.
Come on, Fogger! It was almost there.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
You land next to me,
Yeah. Hey, stop.
or on top of me, really.
We're too heavy for this.
So Shazra. Okay. She casts a different spell this time. Let me just read it and make sure. Creature. Okay. So, she rises up, spits like a mouthful of poison, and then casts a spell. From the ice, black tentacles rise around the worm and try to grab it. So that's a dexterity check for the worm who isn't very dexterous.
So I'm not booing that.
Oh, this time it's a natural 1 for the worm. So the worm is basically restrained. So she can't move. And you have advantage on attack rolls, and it's got disadvantages. And it has disadvantages on dexterity saving throws. And she will be able to try next turn to break free by using its action. So that's very good. Okay, so the worm is restrained. Which brings us back to the wolf, Andrus wolf.
All right. So it's going to attack with advantage
Amazing.
and gets a 21.
Yes.
And it takes 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
Needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay, but she only has it only has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it's going to make it.
I think it did strength, blah 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 blah. So she rolled in 23.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So as an observer, who amongst our party is struggling the most to get on the back of the worm?
So you think Forgar?
Forgar or Rookfi? Forgar? Okay.
Forgar is clinging to it, and one foot kind of, like a dog who's trying to climb a stair. Like, tick, 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 tick.
I'm like pushing.
Kicking.
Kicking, yeah.
The dismissing my frog, is that an action or
I don't think
free
so.
action? Or?
Yeah, it's a free action.
Okay. So can my frog take me over to Forgar?
Sure, with a mighty leap.
Okay, so I will leap over there,
Okay.
dismiss it,
Hey.
real quickly, like just gonna like scoop it up, and then I'm going to cast Thunder Step, and I'm gonna teleport me and Forgar up on top of it.
Amazing. That's amazing. Okay.
So
I thought we were gonna jump with the frog.
I lay my cold, icy hand on your shoulder and look you like my black eyes deep in yours, and then we disappear and appear on the back of it. The thunder can be heard up to 100 feet away, and it needs to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage because my hound is there.
Okay. So she rolled Constitution. She keep saying she.
That works.
It's an 18.
Yeah, that's fine. So half damage, I think, is what it says.
Okay, so as you kind of
Failed save or half damage, yeah. So, 10, 19, 20. It takes 11 thunder damage.
amazing. So as the thunder explodes over the lake and rattles everyone around, and you teleport and materialize on its back, you can hear the barbarians. They are quiet again, and then this is definitely cheating. He wasn't using the rope at all. This is like minus.
Back you again. I'm trying to impress these people. Look at what you've done. Now they think I'm cheating too.
Okay. We asked about the rules. You said there were no rules.
Yes.
There's actually some barbarians casting it in a desk. Over there's cameras.
Sportscaster.
So as you know, Galen, everyone are doing their stunts, and they lift signs with numbers on them. So for you, it's kind of.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Amazing.
Thanks for the boost.
So we have Galen up, Forgar up, and Enderist, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So Quarian, we are back to you.
Okay, how far is Rookvi from me?
You'll have.
Like,
So if you want to run to him, you can do it. Yes, you won't be kind of. It's fine. You won't take an attack of opportunity or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to Rookvi. Do the same thing that Anders just did. I'm going to grab him and cast Dimension Door.
Okay.
To appear also.
So when you do that,
Right.
all the barbarians, yeah, amazing! What a display of wizardry! This is awesome.
Damn, I wish Brian could be here to see this.
Yeah, right.
So they are kind of clapping, and everything is good, and you kind of open a door, and you are on the back of the creature with Rookvi. So that's Quarian and Rookvi also on top. So Shazra and Peleus are the only one that needs a ride. Rookvi, Galen, do you want to do something while you are on its back?
Yeah, I'll try to tie the second rope around me and tie it around maybe some sort of horn or icy, just for security in case I slip. I have something that'll hold me to it.
Okay, good.
Safety is important.
Great. So,
I see this hilarious scene of the worm freaking out and you just like spinning wildly as he tries to shake you loose, still attached to the rope.
The skin on my face just like flapping around.
I will just shout down to Cheshire, come on, like climb up here and Peleus, come on, shift into a normal form and I'll grab onto my arm.
Okay. So, Andres, you just missed. Quarian used the dimension door to bring him and Rookvi on the worm's back, and all the barbarians went, yeah, that's amazing! This is great!
This is amazing wizardry.
This amazing act of wizardry. He was, so.
Pure arcane. Not dark evil.
The worm tries to.
My magic is arcane too.
So Peleus, as you fly above the worm, suddenly its massive tail is looming above you, and it tries to hit you in mid-air. So does a 25 hits you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
want
Why do
your
you ask? I
dice.
know, obviously it hits me.
Okay. So
Just
We all
like
get
saying it.
defensive.
I know that feeling. I do the same time. Oh, let's see. That's a 32. Does that hit? That's always fun to say.
You are hit for 17 points of piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw, as this creature basically pumps you full of poison.
Oh, yeah, I think the Constitution saving
Didn't I
throw
cut the
will-
stinger off? Is it still able to shoot poison without a stinger?
Yeah, you made a larger opening, so it's more poison.
No more poison. I just cut the tip bigger.
I'm not rolling well tonight. I rolled an 8.
An 8. Okay.
You just sharpened it with your axe.
So
It's a cleaner incision this way, less permanent
right.
scarring.
yeah.
I'm
So
looking out for you.
Peleus, you might explode because of all this poison.
Oh man.
That's 5, 9, 15 plus 8, 10, 12. So 27 so far. And
So far.
37, 42, and 45 points of poison damage.
Yikes.
Okay. Yeah, that takes me out of my flying form.
Oh no.
Blasting off.
Do I take any? I probably take 4 damage. So,
So,
Yep.
this is how I die.
Where's that feather fall?
So you
That's the
explode.
way.
You explode in a cloud of poison, and out of the remains of the flying Petro something, Peleus falls. Now, I planned for the mouth to hit Shazra, but it might want to kind of grab you in midair and simply be done with it. So roll like a percentile die for me, and if it's below 50, it's you who gets eaten.
Okay. 79.
Oh my god. Okay. So, Shazra is the worm is having Shazra for dinner. So, the worm attacks her. That's 30 to hit. Let me check the draw
Yeah,
armor
let's
class.
just check her armor class again to make sure.
Just to make
Yeah, just check that.
sure.
Yeah.
Maybe double check it.
Yeah, 12. Didn't change from last time.
Wait, doesn't he have disadvantage?
Wait, wow.
Yeah, he's restrained.
He's restrained.
Unless he busted out of that.
Yeah, you're actually correct. Wait.
But we know it'll be a hit. No matter what.
Or does it
Oh,
does
come on,
it use
give
it
her a chance.
does it use its action to break free?
Oh, wait.
Mhm.
That's not fair. That's not fair. You are cheating.
What?
All of you are cheating.
Just because it's dark magic doesn't mean
I
it's cheating.
totally forgot
Exactly. Dark
about
magic is a legitimate form of magic.
Yes.
This is the one time I'm going to support you here. It's
Thank you.
fine. I'm with you.
So
Because it works for you.
So-
Dark magic
Yes.
matters.
we are back. We are back in time. We are back in time.
Yeah.
Peleus, you're still up in the air.
Nice.
Yes, amazing. No,
Yes,
she
sir.
it needs to break free from the, and it has to use its action. So, blah 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 blah. Oh my god, a natural 1. What's the? Wait. It actually
Falls
doesn't.
through the ice.
Yeah, she
It accidentally chokes itself.
No, it's still restrained. It's amazing. That's amazing. She didn't pass the spell save DC. That's awesome. Wait. Oh my god. Okay, so it's still restrained. This is amazing.
Go team.
Yes, and it's action. So Peleus and Shazra still have an opportunity to climb it without interference. So Peleus, what do you want to do? It's your turn.
I will fly at it again as if I was making like a flyby attack, which I never hit so far, but instead of attacking, I will just turn into my human form again
Like
and
Batman.
And land on it.
grab onto it.
Like
and because
Batman,
this
you
is
kind
how
of-
I die.
You fold your wing and okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So since
it's-
it's restrained and isn't moving, it's kind of easy for you to land. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay. Great.
Shazra
I
will.
like this version of reality way more than the.
Yeah, totally. That parallel universe? Nah.
That
Okay.
explosion poison cloud, it was so pretty.
You can have the poison explosion cloud next time. How's that
Amazing.
sound?
I
Yeah.
Sounds good.
shouldn't.
You can
I,
keep it in
Alright.
your mind.
I shouldn't have cast that spell. Lightning bolt was way more effective. So Shazra manages to grab the worm and manages to climb it. And at that point, all the barbarians are kind of howling and shrieking and banging their hammers again. And then they leave.
What? Leave?
No, I'm
Drop the popcorn.
And the worm smashes down and rolls over, and we
Yeah.
don't die.
So
And gets its belly scratched.
they
Oh,
approach.
it's a good word.
They approach the worm and use their own grappling hooks to kind of lash at it. And the creature kind of stands still. The tentacles are dismissed by Shazra after one of the barbarians, Grihak for that matter, tells her that it's safe now. And you can all descend and climb down from the worm as it's under the barbarian's control.
I will have to dismiss my Hound of Ill Omen, otherwise it'll just keep attacking. It's just gonna keep chewing on it.
Okay, so you all...
I want to grab the scale that I knocked off.
Okay, so you all go down, and when each of you descends, the king grabs the back of your head and kind of smashes his skull to yours, like Peleus saw them doing after a fight, and basically welcomes you into the fold of the tribe. So you are
How
all...
does he react when he grabs me and I'm like freezing cold to the touch? And he looks into my black eyes.
So, that's a good question. So make an insight check with advantage.
Because I'm so up close and personal. Oh, yeah, 9. I don't care.
So you have a feeling that he does recoil, but maybe he's not that taken aback as you think he would. If that makes sense.
It's okay. He's used to people recoiling.
Cold
from his
though,
touch.
you know? I get cold, you get cold, it's just like cold fingers.
Yes. So
Mhm.
you are now all members of the clan. The worm is dismissed. It burrows down into the black ice, into the crater it created. And you are all taken back to the camp for a feast and dancing and good whiskey made of bear teeth. And fire and meat and ale and firefights and all the good fun things that barbarians do when
I really like this tribe.
when the
I'm
trial is
like
over.
all over this. This is a good time.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
amazing! This huge, bold, scarred man kind of grabs you and slams you on the back of your backs and oh, it was amazing! The magic, flying creatures, much better show than what our kids are doing.
I'm almost offended by that for a split second.
But then you look at their kids who are bigger than you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, you know,
exactly.
whatever. Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, they're at par with me. I'm pretty big.
So what are you doing during this feast? The people are eating, fighting, dancing. You can see couples go to the side and do their things, and then they get back. What do you want to do?
Anders,
So as-
how about we go tell the king what we saw? And Peleus too. How about we go, go
About-
tell about the Dracolich that is being assembled not far from here. The Wrath of the Witch being just that.
So when you go to the king, you can see that he's sitting on this large boulder with the two women that you've seen previously to his sides. Now that you kind of take the time to have a look, you can see the family resemblance. You believe these are his daughters.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
I am
show
participating in the festivals.
You, if I can show you
I
a
will not be joining in.
picture of the king. Not sure actually. Probably won't be. No, it's white pages.
Can't see anything.
Yeah. Okay, so
You gotta scan that book in.
yeah, so this man is a towering barbarian, and you can see that he has a deeply tanned skin, and his hair is so blonde that it's almost white, and you can see on his hands and face that this is a man who is used to living far, far, far from civilization, but his eyes glow with a deep like wisdom and intelligence. You can see that he is no fool. While old, he is controlling his tribe like with a strong hand, and no one opposes him. Definitely not openly. People come and talk to him and clash their mugs together with him. Like, it's not mugs, it's basically horns that they drink from. And you can see that he rarely speaks. He simply nods, smiles, maybe pats someone, but this is it. His daughters do all the talking mostly.
Before we go over there, I'm going to cast Detect Magic as a ritual, and then so I can concentrate on it and see if there's any magic on them or about them.
So you do believe that they have several trinkets that are magical. It might be, one of the warriors' cloak is basically a skinned elk that he carries on top of his shoulders, horns and all, and it kind of glows magically. Another warrior has a pair of, it's like guntles made of the paws of a bear, and these also glow. So you can see kind of bits, and maybe it's a chain or the blade of an axe, but it's definitely not something that like all of them. Maybe just 3 or 4 barbarians have something magical in their possession.
Right.
Out of 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I'll let you guys do the talking, unless you need me.
You told us about the visions that you had when you wore the crown.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm willing to show the king the crown as well.
All right.
Not touch it, but he can see it. Look, don't touch.
Okay. I head over to the king and I tell him about that I have some bad news, some warning that I think we have to go now. The witch who sent the dragon at us, or at least the witch who was a friend of the dragon. We have seen her. My friend here has seen her assembling the dragon into a Dracolich. I believe we have very little time to stop this, and we need your help to do so. They're being assisted by the tribe of the bear, if that is what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we need to stop this as soon as possible, otherwise it will be much more dangerous than the dragon, which was already quite destructive.
So Froya says, as you describe the dragon and the tribe of the bear, she looks at her father and she speaks, but when she speaks, she is looking actually at you, Quarian, and she says, "Listen to our newly found brother, my father. We have to go now. Gather the tribe and strike deep into the heart of the tribe of the bear. Their evil is so great they have aligned themselves with a witch. Listen to him. And then Gwyneth says, and then we must dispatch the witch itself. She has plagued our lands for so long. You said she is quiet, but obviously she is not. Listen to our newly found brothers. We should strike now. But the king, you can see that he raises a hand as if he doesn't want to hear, that kind of talk.
Is they like trying to like pander to him, or is it like does it seem like an honest fear that they have, or honest?
Make an insight check.
Okay, I got 11 plus. Insight. I got a 15.
So you believe it's a mixture of fear that drives them along with something else. You're not sure that their offerings to the king are sincere. It's as if they're trying to sway him or manipulate him.
Okay. I look. I disengage from their looks, and I look straight at the king's eyes, and I try to judge, and I ask him, what does he think?
He raises his cup and shouts, "To our brothers!" And all the barbarians are kind of. He drinks, and then he wipes his mouth and says, "The hunt has made me tired. I'm going to my tent." And then he gets up, and when his two daughters are trying to support him, he slaps their hands, and then he makes way to his tent. They actually get up and then look at you, Quarian, and at each other. So Froya is nodding toward her sister. So Gwyneth is going after her father, and she starts, babbling again. And Froya is looking at you and she says quietly, so she will not be overheard over the entire camp, just to you. Obviously, our father is mistaken. You have seen the evil of the witch. You have seen her powers. You have seen her liege with this evil dragon. We must strike fast.
I agree. We should.
If you want,
How about
I can lend you 5 of my fiercest warriors. We can accompany you.
Will that be enough against the entire tribe of the bear?
She says, you have seen what our children have to go through to stay in this tribe. 5 of my finest warriors are like an army for the southern realms. Besides, if we act if we are smart about it,
stealthily.
yeah, if we'll be stealthy and quickly and smart about it, we won't have to fight them at all. We'll need to strike at the heart of evil, and the tribe of the bear will collapse. Her magic holding them will break.
Anderist, I gave you like a stern stare in the eyes, trying to hint to you that I want to talk to you.
Sure, I can do that. I'll initiate.
Could you follow her father, follow the king, and maybe try to initiate some conversation with him? I'll try to stall here. I would much rather do this with his blessings than with his daughters.
Sure. I'm gonna go into a tent as me and come out of a tent as one of them.
Awesome.
Okay.
and make my way over towards the king's tent.
So as you
Okay.
do, yeah, Corinne, you wanted to say something?
Just in the meantime, I'm going to. I'll discuss. Battle plans with her and
Okay.
tactics and stuff like that.
Amazing. So, Enderist, as you move closer to the tent, and the sounds of the party and singing and drinking are kind of become fainter and fainter, you approach the king's tent, which isn't bigger or different than any other tent. You can hear the voices of an argument. A woman says something, and then he almost shouts, "Leave me, woman! I will hear none of this." And then he probably threw his ale-filled horn at her, because you can hear something hits the tent side and a liquid spilling. And then she kicks the tent's flap, and then she leaves, stomping her way out angrily, obviously.
All right, I'm gonna ignore her and make like I'm going off somewhere else to pee.
Okay.
Undoing my pants, and then when she's gone, I'm gonna slip into the king's tent.
He is with his back to you, so you can hear him mumbling, "Foolish woman." Wants me to
Okay,
kill
if his back is to me, I'm gonna transform back into my own form real quickly.
Okay. Do you want to make yourself like your presence known?
Yeah, but one of the things I will do is I will add a bit of color to myself.
Okay.
I'm not as palely white, and I'll bring the color back to my eyes. My alter self or disguise self spell.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'll just like clear my throat. And I'll be wearing my crown.
Okay. So he turns to you and says, he kind of turns and says, "Oh, you. What are you doing here?"
I can bow my head to him in deference. I thought we should speak alone. You're not scared of me.
Why should I be scared? You passed our trials. You've been deemed worthy.
The rest of your people are scared of me. Most people are scared of me when they meet me.
He sits on his bed, which is basically a lump of furs and pelts, and he points at yet another pile of furs, and then he points at his horn.
I'll fill it with whatever's available and give it to him, and then I'll sit where he motioned for me.
So he drinks and says, "You are no stranger to the cold, are you?"
True. I've suffered in the cold of shadows for a long time.
So he kind of cuts you, and as if he didn't even hear your response, and he gets up, and part of the cloak is kind of falls off his shoulder, and you can see how big and towering he is, but you can also see that he's kind of as if a huge weight is on his shoulder. And then he shouts, "So what? So what? I didn't abandon her to the cold. I just want peace at last. Peace. Enough of blood. Enough of war. Enough of the cold. Don't you ever want to feel warm just for once? For once in your life? Foolish woman." And then he kicks the pile of rugs and pelts.
When he asks that question, I'll just kind of nod to him like, yeah, I do. I'll ask him, "My king, who will succeed you when your days are over?"
He says, "I will live forever if that's what it takes to prevent my two stupid daughters from taking the crown. They're not ready. They're not leaders. They scheme. They speak. They warp words. They string them together in a way that makes your head ache. And then he takes another sip from the horn. There was one.
Then...
There was one. But I took her to the cold. I took her to the cold myself, and now I have to pay for it. Yes, I will pay for it.
The witch?
Don't call
Who is
her
she to
that.
you?
Don't.
What would you prefer I call her?
Her name,
Princess?
Her name is Fenor. She's my daughter, my eldest daughter. It was I who took her to the ice. We didn't know what to do. She was like you, filled with ice, filled with cold, black eyes, blue skin, as if cursed. We didn't know anything. We thought it was a sign, a bad sign. I took her, and I've given her to the ice. And she prevailed. She prevailed. I don't know how, but she did.
And now she plagues your tribe? He has succumbed to the darkness?
She didn't succumb to any darkness. She learned how to weave the force of the ice around her. She learned to survive. She raided some villages that those civilized people of the north, the 10 towns, they didn't know what to do. They struck her. I came to her aid. I healed her. But then we made an agreement that we will part ways. I will not attack her. She will not attack the people of 10 towns. It was good. It was a good deal. But something happened. She met this dragon. He poisoned her soul. And now she is full of sorrow for losing him. And then he starts to weep. I am her father. She doesn't weep for me. She wept for him.
He's poisoned her mind. Your people live and die by the challenges. Yes? Yes. Challenge for the throne. Challenge for food. Challenge to be heard.
Challenges.
Strength. Rules.
Rules. Trials everywhere.
So let me propose something to you. Your daughter, Fenor, is like me, you say. And perhaps if we are kindred spirits, I might be able to reason with her. But this is what I propose. You need a strong and wise and just heir to replace you in seems to be your fading light. But your daughters, none of them, are ready yet. Why don't you let them lead us and your warriors to destroy the dragon and the bear tribe should they stand against us? We will... Well, my friends are leaders. Leaders of men, leaders of war parties. They can observe and mentor and help guide your daughters. And if we can kill the dragon and free Fenor from the darkness that he's been whispering in her ear and uncloud her mind, perhaps one of the three will be elevated by this quest, this last final battle. And if we can do that, we can bring peace to this land. But we need your blessing.
He says, you want my blessing for a hunting party to kill my only daughter that I actually cared for, that I actually thought of, that isn't here. What is it that you're proposing?
We kill the dragon, and we spare your daughter, and hopefully, in doing so, the dark magic that the dragon has employed against her will fade in her.
Never melt. The pool. You submerge her in the pool. It has healing properties. It's a sacred place. You take her to the pool. You kill the dragon, and you take her to the pool She will be cleansed of the evil, and then she might be home again. Whole again, maybe. It's a scheme. It's a trick upon a trick. I like what you're doing here. Yes. A blessing. I will give my blessing. And he starts to kind of rush out of the tent.
I'll follow him.
Okay. So you all see a unicorn as you speak to Froya, and you can see Anderist emerging from the emerging from the king's tent with the king, and the king is shouting, "Gather, gather, my people, gather!" And everyone are kind of around him with their horns full of ale, and he says, "There will be a hunting party. The dragon must be put to rest. We have to cleanse the land from its evil presence once and for all. Gather, take your weapons, kill it, and submerge his bones in the sacred pool we called Evermelt, and then the land will free, and these, our new brothers, will lead the way with my 2 fierce daughters." And everyone kind of... roll perception checks.
Everybody?
Yes.
Ugh. 11.
Not one for Rugby.
A 5
20.
for me.
19.
Whoa! Where'd that
I got
come
an
from?
11 too.
Only I could roll that when it benefited
Mattered.
us.
Okay, so...
But 11, or that might not be enough. You need
19?
21. You need a 21.
Ah,
So, when all the tribe is happy and they clash their weapons and drink again and throw, they spit ale into the fire to make it kind of explode again, meat is cooked, and the people are happy to have their king's fighting spirit kind of show again. So it was, I think, Forgar who got a high roll, and
yeah.
I got a 20.
Peleus. So Peleus, you can see Froya, who is standing next to Quarian. She is smiling, but her eyes are like 2 slits. She isn't sure what's going on. Forgar, you, however, managed to see Wyneth, the other sister, the sister that emerged from the king's tent just before the king and Anderis did. She is at the far corner of the camp. She is looking at the camp and at the king and at all this gathering. And behind her, there's only darkness. Then the fire kind of explodes because someone spits ale into it. And you can see a couple of dark figures standing behind her as she's kind of, with her hands crossed, looking at all of this. So there's a flare, and you can see black cluttered, you're not sure if these are men or creatures. They have masked face, like it's a smooth mirror or something like that covers their face, and you can see hints of metallic. It might be joints or bolts or horns, or you're not sure, something strange. And as they show up, like their silhouette against the darkness, the fire kind of fades, and then their figure fades, and you can only see the sister standing there. And then she walks toward you. And this is where we'll stop for today.
Dang. It's already 10.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Not fair.
Another ending on a masked mystery people? Like, just want to know what's there.
They're totally friendly. It's just like, Anderis guards. like totally friendly,
That's
normal
right.
guards he hired.
Totally friendly.
Nothing,
normal guy.
yeah, nothing weird about those at all.
That have to wear the hoods and cover their arms for normal reasons.
Yeah, it was their vow of silence, and everything. The monk.
Mhm,
Exactly.
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
I'm glad you remembered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's honor their memory.
Amazing.
All I do is
Oh.
people that
Although
I
I-
never knew. And,
Although I
and
do
so, like,
remember one of them wore a hood because its face was mush. I don't know
Yeah.
who did. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, that's. I don't remember anything about that. And I never.
True, though.
Yeah,
You're-
never
you
have.
don't.
I don't remember him wearing a hood afterwards because he was a corpse with no face. But hey, I had nothing to do with that. That wasn't me.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so you have a hunting party. Hunting. The hunting season is on. So
Perfect.
yeah. So next
The
session.
thing is, we have
Party.
to
I
go to
thought
the.
it was like an. I thought it was like an army. Those 5 guys, not just a hunting party.
We're a hunting party. We're an army.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
So I'm gonna suggest that seeing as we have to go to the pool afterwards with her anyways, we go to the hag, then the witch, and then the pool.
No. Wits.
No.
Pool, wits,
Again?
then pool, and then. We have a main quest, not a side quest. To kill the hag.
Okay, so make your plans, and we'll kind of resolve that next time. So in 2 weeks' time, can anyone kind of quickly calculate the date, just to make sure that we're all here? Because maybe me and Avi will not
That's
be
the
here.
9th of
Yeah,
June.
that's the 9th. We're flying like a few hours after that.
Okay, so we'll probably
So
not
you're gonna
be
play
able-
the game in the airport?
So two options. One option is that we play next week, or we postpone again for a month. So it's really up to you. We don't have to decide now. We can think about it, see how your schedule is, and then we can talk about it next week.
Okay, I'm good for next week.
Yes.
I'm good
I
for
think
next
I'm good
week.
for it.
Me too.
Literally nothing on that day.
Okay, amazing. So tentatively, we'll do it next week, and then we'll take a short vacation.
Awesome.
Amazing,
Sweet.
guys. Thank you. It's good to be back. Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good to see you guys again.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay. Have a good weekend. See you soon.
Do.
Yeah. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
James, make your move.
Yeah, I will.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.